For those of you who've been following me for a long time, you probably know that I suffer from PMDD, which is perimenstrual dysphoric disorder, and it is fucked, okay? So because of the brain injury that I acquired from decades of abuse and from a certain type of, I had mycotoxicosis. But it's been this progressive kind of, I was getting better, and then I got worse, and I got better, and then I got worse again, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Because you just, in Costa Rica, you can't get supplements across the border. And I met this amazing woman, Aaliyah, and she said, okay, well, the way I work, this is where it gets fascinating, okay? She's like, the way I work is, with your permission, I access the Akashic records, and she goes into, I'm not even going to bastardize it because I don't know, she goes into some type of state where she communicates with my higher self or my angels or my whoever, I don't know who she's talking to, she didn't get this detailed. So get this, she downloads the information of which herbs to use from her organic garden that she grows everything in this beautiful finca here. It's called Finca Ipe. And she gives me these beautiful bottles that need to be refrigerated. So this one is, I've already started using it, and let me tell you what happened in 2 days of drinking the first set of tonics or elixirs or whatever you want to, I don't even know, or herbal concoction. So I've drank about 1.5 liters of this already. So what happens for me hormonally before I get my period is from when I ovulate to the end of until I bleed, I'm a different person. This is where the dysphoria comes in. It's really uncomfortable and really difficult to manage, business and relationships and taking care of myself, because you lose a lot of, it's like you just shut down and you lose a lot of energy and a lot of your spark and your desire to live and do things. You just get really, really down. So as I started drinking this, I noticed the next morning when I woke up, I was me. I was laughing and talking to people. This is just a few days before I bleed, and I'm normally like hissing, get away. And I was like, yeah, da, 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 doing my thing. I had the best poop, which is usually not the case, especially right before my period. And I've noticed my body changing, my water retention changing. It's jiving with me. Herbs jive so well with me. And normally what happens with my period is I'll get some spotting before the actual bleed comes. Dude, I had no PMS symptoms last night, slept like a dream, woke up this morning, went to go pee, and all of a sudden I start bleeding, full on period. And I haven't had that for years and years, if not over a decade, where, when women are like, oh, I just got my period, and it's happening. That never happened. It was always this, and that's a sign of low progesterone or hormone dysregulation. So for me to be drinking this for 1.5 days, 2 days, and then for my period symptoms and my hormonal systems to just change, and I was open, and I could feel things moving, and I felt in my window of tolerance. So I'm really inspired by this, because a lot of the forums for people who suffer from mycotoxin illness really do respond well, and they seem to say a lot of positive things about using herbs versus pharmaceuticals, and how effective they are and gentle and inexpensive. And it's just something, it makes sense. So I am so thankful for Aaliyah. I will tag her in this post when I'm done this live, and you guys can reach out to her, because I know she ships, and I don't know if it's shipping outside of Costa Rica is possible for my North American friends, but I know she ships, and she'll be shipping to me in Nosara when I can't drive back here to get her beautiful medicine. So I've almost done all of this. This was phase 1. I had to drink all the bottles. I only have this left, and I had 4. So I've been drinking lots of that. And then stage 2 Medicine number 2, extract for ovaries and progesterone. So we haven't even like intentionally got into the ovaries and the progesterone yet. I don't know what this was for. I'm thinking it was like a prep. It's not aggressive. So this next one, I drink like, I think it's 2 tablespoons a day. So this is going to be drawn out for a lot longer, and it's potent, right? Like this is concentrated. She's like, laxative. Thank you, baby. Thank you. She's like, don't mix this with water. Don't dilute it. Thank you. Everybody's like, laxative. Yes. It's not a laxative like feeling. Very soft, very gentle, very nurturing and opening, right? As opposed to like forceful, which I don't like. Energetically, I don't like, because also I was a, what is it called when they force a baby to come out? Like I was induced. Just wait. Just chill, right? That's my energy. Don't fucking push me around. And then this last one is the stress system. She said it's for insulin. And that is major, right? Like hormone balancing, blood sugar regulating, probably very liver supportive. And that's the thing with mycotoxin illness. You know, if you have had chronic GI symptoms, you know, some of the ways that they present when mold has taken its grips on your body, it are symptoms like chronic UTIs, bladder infections, chronic yeast infections, BV. I've seen a lot of chronic herpes outbreaks, whether it's genital or oral herpes, where people they can't get a grip on these opportunistic infections. So that ice pick headaches, sleeplessness, chronic anxiety, food intolerances, constipation is a really big one. So when we're looking beyond, the one thing that I would really say to look out for is if you had chronic and debilitating UTIs, BV, yeast infections, bladder infections, because when we're looking at the urogenital system, you know, we don't want to necessarily chase every symptom, right? It's like we have to look at the big picture and assess how much of this has to do with the acute symptom and how much of this has to do with a bigger problem. Try and stop self-diagnosing. That's one of the biggest things I can say. Don't self-diagnose, don't self-treat. Work with a professional or several professionals integratively. You know, I'm using a medical doctor, I'm using a functional coach, and I'm using an herbalist. And all 3 of those guys are helping me to understand my body better, help me to understand my symptoms better, how to mitigate symptoms in a way that isn't too aggressive for my nervous system or my immune system. It's all